I'm very excited to be sitting down with Grape Finance today. I'm here with my co-pilot, Scott. He's one of my more favorite people here in the world of crypto, and so I'm glad to have him on board to ask some questions. And we're here with LB. LB, why don't you go ahead and maybe introduce yourself, who you are, maybe a little bit about your background, and what you do for Grape Finance, my friend.
Hey, I'm LB. I'm from Australia. I'm the founder of Grape Finance on AVAX, which is a seniorage protocol. My background kind of revolves more around development, software development. I've been a developer for about 10 years, mainly web stuff. But I've kind of always been interested in finance. I've always been interested in the latest tech, like the cutting edge tech. I've always been interested in self-sovereignty as well, and kind of crypto is all those really combined, especially DeFi. So I've been floating around the Bitcoin space for a while. I guess if I wasn't the founder of Grape Finance, I'd still be around DeFi anyway. Just out of interest, really. So it's I wanted to kind of put my skills to use, the tech skills to use, along with the general interest that I have in this space anyway. So I've always wanted to find something, develop a protocol. So I started with Grape Finance back in January, and we're now sort of building on top of that protocol to make something more like a DeFi services hub, essentially.
Yeah, I know you guys have added a ton of stuff since you guys launched, and we'll get into all that. But for the person who has no idea what Grape Finance is, can you just give maybe a quick summary of what your product, what your project is about? And then I think it's a fork too, right? Too also. So what did you guys fork, and what is the project, and how much of the fork is the project, right?
It's they all iterate over on top of each other, add some improvements and stuff like that, which is what open source code is all about, really. Yeah. So the base protocol essentially is a seniorage protocol, and it's it has a few tokens, and the main token is designed to maintain a peg algorithmically to another token. So maybe the algorithmic stablecoin word is a little bit like PTSD now, considering Luna, but Luna is not a tomb fork, really. It's a different method of algorithmic stablecoin, or UST, I should say. Yeah. But the tomb model is essentially an algorithmic stablecoin, and that's what Grape is a model of, where Grape is pegged to MIM. So MIM, most people would know MIM being a stablecoin that's
AVAX.
Relatively decentralized. It's over collateralized using capital, and so Grape is pegged to MIM in that it tries to maintain a value of $1 using inflation and deflation, so to say. That's managed, using an average price on the system, and the system either inflates the supply if it's above the peg to kind of add selling pressure to bring it down to the peg, and when it's below the peg, it stops inflating, and it incentivizes deflation or burning of the token to kind of lessen the supply and incentivize the supply to meet the demand where it's about $1 again, or where the peg is. In our case, that's MIM, so that's about $1 roughly. And I guess like the idea is why does that exist? Well, MIM is over collateralized, so you need, I think it's 150% of the value to mint one MIM, and that's obviously stable. It's stable and it's strong in that aspect because it is backed by collateral, 150%, but it is not capital efficient. So with the Tomb fork or seigniorage protocol, you can peg to an asset, and in Tomb's case that's Phantom, in our case that's MIM, and you can increase the liquidity or increase the supply of that token essentially, or without having to lock up capital to create that token. So it's extremely capital efficient in that regard. And obviously the drawback to that is that it's not, always a one-to-one peg. It is algorithmically managed, and that means it fluctuates in value based on supply and demand.
Did you guys fork Tomb 100%, or did you guys kind of use kind of that as like a base and add a little bit of your own kind of development in that? Can you just let us know kind of what the process was with that?
Well, we forked Tomb, and then I got rid of some of the known vulnerabilities of Tomb, which they have the tax system, the tax break system, which was vulnerable in the gatekeeper hack a while back.
Yeah.
So I got rid of that completely. Those functions. I changed the tokenomics quite a bit to decrease the emission schedule, to make it sort of, I guess, a little bit more sustainable in that regard, because the general Tomb model is quite, it expands very rapidly, and if you don't have the demand to meet that supply increase, it results in going under peg very, very easily.
Yeah.
And obviously we also changed the peg to MIM. It's a different coin to Tomb's Phantom, because we kind of wanted to model more of a stable coin rather than a L1 coin.
Gotcha.
But also, it's we deviated a little bit from the Tomb model, but we've since added new features on top of that as well. But always, the idea is you like the Tomb model has been battle tested essentially. The Tomb code is battle tested. It's been audited numerous times by many different people, and so when you fork any sort of code, you want to, or when you develop any code, you always want to use bits and pieces that are technically battle tested, that have been in the ground, in the real world, used, and therefore that there's vulnerabilities here and there. Like with the gatekeeper tax system, we know that there's a vulnerability, so I removed that completely. Now that's not even an issue in our code.
So you guys basically took the best parts of Tomb and added and subtracted the vulnerabilities, the things that are going to get you in trouble or your project demolished, and kind of put your own touch on it. So that's really good to know, because as I was doing my investigation, I didn't know exactly what was changed, what wasn't changed, and I'm glad you addressed actually in the tax break system, gatekeeper tax. Mm-hmm. That's really good. Really quickly, I know you guys launched in January. How's the team been doing? Has the team been growing? What does it look like behind the scenes? I'm sure it's you. Do you guys have a marketing side? Walk us through kind of a little bit about who's behind Grape Finance. In the background.
Yeah, well, back in January, it was literally just me. Like I did the code, I did the website, the design, the marketing, the community, and I quickly realized that was just a little bit much to do. To do well,
That's pretty incredible though, man, to do it all yourself like that. My hats off to you, bro. That's a ton of work. Wow.
It was a few crazy few weeks, that's for sure. But quickly post launch, essentially a team formed from the community, really, which is kind of the best way to do it, to be honest, because you have people that are already kind of invested in the protocol. They already know it, and they, are interested in its success anyway. So then, our team has grown now. We've got about 7 people, including me, and so we've got a partnership sort of marketing's person specifically. We have 2 sort of partnerships marketing people specifically, because that's kind of really important in this space.
Very.
And another sort of business strategist, so to say, as well, that works together with those other 2 guys. And then we have a really good designer and video specialist as well that helps with the the education content we put out as well, and obviously the marketing stuff design wise.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
Oh no, and then we also have obviously a community manager, and educator. So we have education's been a big thing for us as well, especially that's kind of like a huge thing on the Toonfork side for the game theory of it. So we've put a lot of effort into the education. So it's we have our community manager does a lot of education stuff, and we all kind of work together on almost everything together. Like we all discuss everything in the team chat. But we all have our own roles as well.
Yeah, it's very important too, right? Education, because it's not just like a buy token and hold it, and then you actually have to get in, do different things. I know you guys have added nodes to it, and there's bonding. There's so much to it. So actually being able to educate someone on how to kind of get in, start using the ecosystem. There's grapes, wine, all this other stuff. So that's really important. Where would you say the best place to kind of get educated with Grape? Is that your website? Is that your YouTube? I mean, I was on your YouTube looking at some of your videos, some of your AMAs. Where would be the best place for someone to get educated, like right now, if they wanted to just learn about how to kind of get in and start trading and getting involved with Grape today?
Well, yeah, we obviously have a lot of information in the docs. There's a whole help guides. It depends how beginning you are, really. I mean, we have a DeFi help guides for beginners in the docs, which goes over the basic stuff, like making an LP, adding yield farming, essentially, like the general idea of it. It just depends on how basic your knowledge is from the beginning. So, and then we also have Grape specific guides, so guides in docs as well, which are also on our YouTube, and we have a whole playlist on our YouTube that goes over some of the basics of seigniorage protocols, what is seigniorage essentially, and how the protocol works, and then strategies specific to the different essentially the price that it's at now, essentially the TWAP of Grape, or the average price of Grape. Depending on that, there's different strategies which are optimal for the protocol. So we have guides on that as well on YouTube, and then we have in the docs. All this is linked in the docs.
And we'll link all that stuff
contents
for the YouTube people watching later on. We'll link all of those docs and links to get to your information for that. Scotty, you want to jump in? I know you have some questions that you'd like to ask LB here, and then I can follow up after you, my friend.
Yeah.